Yeah, well, they can probably escort them down there. Yeah, always a if they're going in the same direction, I don't see a problem with it. In fact, I was thinking that by the end of the week, I should dispatch them.
All right.
You know,
I will inform the Baron of these developments.
perfect. Now, you can tell Baron Kix that if he ever wants to drink the finest dwarven ale in all of Greyhawk, he's welcome in my home.
I will do that.
And you as well,
I'm sh-
yes, of course. I'm not going to leave you
I'm
out,
sure
lad.
he loves a good pint.
Who doesn't? If they don't, they're not friends of mine, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. All right. Well, I do have a busy day today. I should
I'm
be going.
sure. I have to go back to discussions, you know how it is.
Hmm.
So thank you for coming. And I'm sure we can deal with this minor matter. It's already done.
Cool.
Thank you.
So that's one down.
Okay. Who are you going to make visit next?
I'm going to find Malik.
Okay. You find Malik in a bar, as one often does when dealing
Stood
with half
behind you the entire time.
Nothing personal, kid.
He's in the foreign quarter, in the what's called the Wizard's Hat Inn. Actually, no, across the street called Low Seas Tavern.
Okay.
And yeah, he's there, apparently drinking by himself and having a drink.
Is he at a bar? Is he at the bar or is he at a table?
He's at the bar,
Oh.
and apparently, one of the serving ladies is giving me, the cow eyes, basically. Every so often, you can almost hear. But he seems to ignore it, but not in a sort of cold way, just like, like an everyday occurrence that women apparently sigh around him for some reason.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk over and sit down next to him.
Oh. Hello there.
Hello. You are Mr. Malik, I believe.
Yes. And he goes, whatever he's having on my tab. Of course, sir. And whatever you order, if you order anything at all.
All right.
So.
Well, I was hoping to get to know more about your opportunities that you mentioned the other day. I am an associate of the new Baron.
Yes, of course. Well, I'm a member of a organization that is very interested in the affairs of the region. My interests are more to the kingdom of Selene. And Selene is the kingdom of the elves in the region. And they tend to have every so often the orcs try to use the forest either to try to attack us directly or to bypass the defenses of Greyhawk.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how much you can do a history check for this. I don't know how much you know about our kingdom outside of rumor and conjecture.
Yeah, I'll try, I guess. I don't think I'm good at history, though. Yeah.
The only thing you heard is it's a kingdom of the elves in the planets, right? There are other groupings of elves, but this is like the kingdom of the elves, right? At least survival one. And they are isolationists, right? They tend to, they don't get involved in the affairs of other nations, which means that he's a half elf, saying that there's a group within that seems to be interested in this, seems to break from what you heard about it. And so we're always looking for opportunities to, shall we say, reverse the course of recent history.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, I do not want to overpromise much, cannot offer you, say, troops or stonemasons or something like that, at least not immediately. However, I do believe that your future domain will be very close to the forest and to certain elven tribes therein. Some of them which you already have contacted.
That
Well,
sounds correct.
unofficially, that is. And so I would be able to intercede between you and them. Make whatever conversations or discussions or negotiations, well, occur in the first place, if you're interested in that. And then everyone will have to decide where it goes from there.
Hmm. All right. Now, what might be our position in this sort of relationship?
Now, say that it's easier to have cooperation, right? The other tribes, as they are relatively independent within the kingdom itself. Um, while the queen herself is said that the affairs of humans and others are not her concern, others feel differently. And if bonds of friendship are struck and assurances are made that, say, for example, there will not be over harvesting of the forest, and there will be cooperation in dealing with the mutual threat, then these bonds of friendship could come in handy in
I
times of trouble.
see.
Clearly, on the other hand, if you don't have the right spokesperson for this, then tensions could rise. After all, if someone just decides to create a castle in the middle of near your own borders, people tend to worry about that.
Hmm.
There's also the matter of the Lord Mastrin.
That was quite an individual, wasn't he?
He still is. His father is known to us, and we had dealings with him in the past. Basically, we came to an arrangement that as long as he guided his aggression to a substantial toward the orcs, then we would not interfere in his affairs. But by the same token, when the orcs finally decided to retaliate in force, well, we were not there to help them. Or at least the people I know.
Hmm.
Divided, united you stand, divided you fall. The humans like to say. Now his son wants to, with the help of Greyhawk, to reestablish his domain. He has apparently pledged himself to the service of Greyhawk, but I suspect that he has his own agenda. And
Let
he's
me
also
ask.
a flighty little rat as well.
Yeah.
Very impulsive, which makes him dangerous in our estimation.
Let me ask you a question, Mr. Malik.
By all means.
Would you prefer to see uh that child fall out of favor more than anything else?
It all depends on the repercussions therein. If it could be arranged that he could be removed without causing more problems, or worse, exposing the border to
Mhm.
attack, because we don't want to see Greyhawk fall any more than we expect anyone else to the hated orc, then, well, I think that would be beneficial. But it would be very, very delicate operation indeed. One that requires a deft touch. And I'm sorry to say that I do not think that is at this moment you or your members of your party are capable of doing that, as I understand it.
Well, maybe not currently. I'm just looking towards the future.
Oh, if the future looks bright, we should always look forward to it.
Right. Well, will consult with the Baron on this later. I'd also like to ask you, have you ever heard of this land called Suel to the south?
Well, the Suel, that's very interesting. Well, to the far south, we have the Scarlet Brotherhood. I I know that they have some interactions with the orcs of the Pomarch, mostly to slavery. The Scarlet Brotherhood believes enslaving anyone, anything that is not Suel. Oop, sorry, bless
Sorry.
you. Okay. Uh, you want to take some water first? You okay?
I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. Uh,
Yeah, I'm good.
okay.
Continue.
So if you mean them, then yes, I've heard of them. They're a danger to the entirety of the Flaness. They are Suel supremacists, believe that they and they alone should rule everything. And we know that they have contacts with the Pomarch, like I said, mostly through slavery, but other means. There's some agents down there. But of a land of the Suel, aside from the Scarlet Brotherhood, know nothing. I mean, they're the old domains back in the Sea of Dust, but those were consumed in twin cataclysms. Only the foolhardy go in there to, well, scour for any remnants of their ancient and powerful magics.
Interesting.
But that is very far to the southwest. I mean, leagues away. It would take months to reach there, beyond the crystal mist mountains and the hell furnaces, themselves inhospitable lands before we reach the Sea of Dust. So if you're talking about the swell, yes, they could be an issue, perhaps, but I don't know of any particular agents in the region, such as they are. But I could try to find out.
Interesting.
May I dare ask any particular interest that you have in them, aside that they're enemies of all non-Suel?
Just a personal curiosity about the place.
Yes. Well, that's all I can provide. But I could try to find out more. Perhaps next time we meet, I may have some more information.
That would be nice.
I can't promise anything, of course, but
Yeah.
now that my curiosity is piqued, I'll see what I can find out. If not
Okay.
for even if not for my own amusement, nothing else.
Mm-hmm. All right. Um. Okay. Well, I believe I know enough for now. And to answer your question, Mr. Kix is a great hero of this land now.
Heroes. Let me put it this way: I have lived long enough to know the heroes come and go. It is the legacy that matters.
True. But for now, he is being celebrated.
Today, perhaps tomorrow, we'll see. Oh, I think there's something happening soon. Something that could be used to help maintain him and maintain him in the good graces of the people. Tournament of sorts, I think. I'm not much into blood sports
Mm-hmm.
myself. I think I've seen enough action in my life to know that's
Yeah, that
uh,
is a
my
risky
fancy.
business, I must say.
Yeah.
Personally, I prefer to be on the betting side than the participating side.
If you're a betting man, yes. I'm not. I like my drink as I like my women. Beautiful and steady. And then that's where he gazes at the serving girl. And she kind of giggles and, you know, hides her face. Like, oh,
Ugh.
but well, that's something for another time. More private time, I should say. Is there
Right.
anything else I could
I
help you
believe
with?
that's all for now. I'm going to kind of put my hand on his shoulder. I bid you farewell,
To you
and
too, sir.
I leave to go find Marissa. can't pronounce her last name.
Toronescu.
Toronescu. Okay.
She is staying at a nearby tavern, and the tavern is actually in the high quarter. Very expensive stuff. People are coming and going. In fact, it's near the tailor shop to where you went to. And she is, in fact, getting a fitting. Like there's a couple of servants, and they're in the common room, but in a corner. Apparently, they reserve a booth, and they're actually helping to get a fitting of some sort. And basically, one of the ladies, she says loudly, "But we should have taken this to your room, my lady." It's like, no, I'm not gonna. If we need to return this, this is very expensive silk, and I will not have it ruined by your clumsy hands. We're gonna do it here. We're gonna make sure it works. Otherwise, we'll have to return it. Do you understand? Yes, my lady. So they're having this discussion, yeah. So normally this would be done in private, but she doesn't care. She's in a corner, and in fact, along the borders of the common room, we have like private booths, and they literally moved the table aside so she could have her fitting, right, with her maids.
Okay.
And so they're there. This time of day, it's in the afternoon. It's kind of empty, so people point you in the direction where she's at. How do you approach this? There's also guards as well. You notice about 4 or 5 guards that are sitting near tables, but they're clearly making, they're standing there as bodyguards, right? So
Okay,
it's
so
obvious.
they're like personal guards?
Yeah. They're sitting.
All
They're
right.
not standing, but in order to get to her, you would have to go through them. You have to sort of go around, and they would make the press. You would know that they're there, right? So as you approach, one of them puts a hand out to stop you,
Stop.
and he motions you to step back.
I was hoping I might be able to speak to the lady for a few minutes, actually. I'm representing one of her new acquaintances.
And she kind of glances over the shoulders, like,
Alright, I walk towards her.
you do. But when you're getting close, you're not allowed to get too close because another guard sort of steps in. It's like, basically like 5 to 10 paces, right? You would have to. The idea is that you're close enough to have a conversation, but in order for you to kind of physically attack her, you have to kind of lounge forward, right? It wouldn't be as easy. Yes.
Lady Tornescu, right?
Correct.
The new Baron is interested in you currently. So I'm here to represent him and inquire about you.
I believe I said everything I needed to say to the Baron when we met. I told him who I was. I clarified our relationships, such as it were. He informed me that my brother's body was unrecoverable.
Mm-hmm.
And that was that.
I believe is correct. Well, would you perhaps have any interest in a uh in a fuck.
You say that to her, it's like,
Hold on, no, that's out of character.
yeah.
That's very direct.
Yeah.
Pause.
Maybe later, wink, wink.
God damn it! I hate all of you.
I'm sorry.
It's just...
You can't resist Marjorie Tyrell.
Oh.
I was perhaps you'd be interested in furthering your relations. There are not in a romantic sense, but you are from the rival city, I believe.
Yes, I am from
Greyhawk.
Divers, yes.
Well, it's always better for a new Baron to have more friends than enemies.
Yes.
Perhaps you'd like to inquire about his business as well.
I guess you're very trained in rhetoric, I suppose, and trying to talk around the effort. What exactly is your master proposing? What can he offer me? And what can he expects me from me in return? If he wants me to talk to me, we can talk, have a couple of drinks, and be done with it. If he wants something more, I am sorry to say that I'm not interested in lizards. As a human being, I don't find them appealing. I know
I
that may be offensive to some, but
don't
that's the
believe
way it
he's
goes.
interested in something more, but we are looking for allies, investors, potential relationships for trade.
Relationships and trade. What kind of resources you will be available to you that I could trade in?
Well, the natural resources of where the keep is going to be located.
Sure.
There's well, there is fresh water, obviously. There we plan to have food. Um, there is the dwarven mining operation in this area that we could secure some resources from potentially.
You will be near the woods, correct?
Yes, we are also near the woods.
Yeah. I would have to send some of my surveyors in that area and see if we can get exclusive rights to logging the area.
Logging.
That area usually is not touched by Greyhawk loggers, which means there's plenty of virgin wood.
Well, I believe there is some danger to that area as well.
Well, if it's under the control of your baron, then he can make sure that the woodsmen are safe.
Hmm. That may be a proposal that he is interested in.
Okay. I will be in the city after midsummer, about a week after midsummer. After that, I will be returning to my home. So you have until then to acquire passage for my surveyors, in which case they will survey the land and they'll bring my estimates to me and, well, etc., etc. And based on those reports, I may be willing to invest on such an operation.
All right. Now for a personal matter, would you I may be able to help you with that dress issue that you appear to have.
Oh, really?
Well, I
To
believe we
tell.
have the same tailor.
Oh, and
One of them is a interesting friend of mine.
yes, I think I'm sensing a point here. Will you please do me a favor of getting to it?
Well, if you would like, perhaps, you are fitting, correct? If you would like that more professional work, I may be able to assist in the price of that as a measure of good faith.
All right. Fetch a tailor. I'll wait for him here.
All right, I'm gonna go to the tailor.
Okay. And finally get to present the tailor.
Yeah, he has art now.
He has our.
All these NPCs, we're seeing their faces.
Yes, it's incredible. They have faces
I've got
and
no room for
names.
them on the screen.
Thefton the tailor.
Also known as the tailor.
Exactly. Just
All right,
the tailor.
so I'm gonna enter the store,
Mhm.
go towards him.
He's basically organizing some rolls of silk and other
Mm-hmm.
materials, with some assistance. Oh,
Hello.
looking for another dress, party dress, perhaps?
Well, I have an associate who is having some issues with their fitting.
Hmm.
Would you mind coming out and assisting them?
Sure. I usually never. I rarely leave the the shop, but some fresh air would do me nice.
And if you want some payment, I can give something if you really want, but
We'll see what it is, and we'll go from there.
all
Okay.
right. Bring the tailor to the lady.
Ah, yes. Lady Tornescu. Good you fetch me.
Mhm.
We'll be here for hours and probably rip the whole thing apart. I'll get to work right now. And he just marches in, and the guards try to stop him. But even before the guards try to step in, she just sort of motions like, and she nods to you like, "We're done," basically, Um, and the tailor starts working on it, and it's like, and he's very patient, and she starts complaining it as loudly as she did to her servants, but
Hmm.
he just nods and says yes, of course, and makes suggestions. He handles her like silk, right? He knows how to handle her, no problem. And you leave, and they're basically just
Yep.
what was probably taking hours is almost done by the time you're out the door, basically.
Well, good luck. And I'll just leave.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna overstay my welcome or anything. Just leave. Go find Kix.
All right. So I guess that would be the flashback to the inn table where we just asked you, like, so what did you accomplish today?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
Give us
it
the full 2-hour recap.
went fairly well. I talked with the dwarven friend that you met.
Ironheart.
He um is willing to assist with the friend of Braith's who wants to be a farmer or whatever.
That's good.
Uh, so
That would be Nellis, Master Barakat.
yes, okay, yes, that was his name. Mr. Nellis will be allowed to leave, and he'll be coming with the Masons, hopefully, who are coming in about a week. He
Mhm.
said.
Mhm.
Did he
al-
ask for anything in return?
Not directly, but he did mention that in the future there is an orcish threat that is upon us all, and if we if there was pressure from another angle towards them, an offensive from the dwarves and elves and all of that could work out.
You're
So
referring to the Empire, I presume, Master Barakat.
yes, they want us to potentially in the future pressure the orcs so that they can get an offensive off that actually succeeds.
Right, so an issue of timing. I can only imagine he's been thinking about this thing for a long while.
Hmm. And he's not looking to do it for the current offensive, but maybe one in the future, it
Of
seems.
course.
Um, I also talked with Mr. Malik. I have a bit of a deeper understanding from now. Not so mysterious after all. He, uh, the orcs are also a threat to them. They try and use the forest to bypass defenses. We could cooperate with the elves and have some beneficial agreements, and he could act as a spokesperson between our two groups. The elves are divided into separate tribes and such, so.
Oh yeah, that's a very good thing. I've been considering, since the last time we met the elves, that maybe we should discuss with them now that we're going to be taking a more active role in defense out there. So an easy way in and an easy contact might go a long way. They aren't very open to talking.
I would
From last
assume
time I
not.
met them.
But one of the things he mentioned was restrictions on logging to make sure there's no over-harvestation of the area.
Huh. Well, that's kind of an interesting request.
And I also talked to Lady Tornescu,
Oh,
who,
very interesting choice.
yes, not very friendly, though.
Mm-hmm.
I did manage to get a somewhat friendly relation there, though, and the only thing she really seemed interested in was exclusive logging rights.
Ah, here it is. Our first point of contention in conflict.
Yes. This, I believe, would just be a trade agreement, though I'm not sure what this could lead to in the future, or if it could lead to anything at all.
This definitely sounds like with both parties, we maybe need to have a longer discussion about what the restrictions and what the trade and overall profit for the region is going to be.
You also
Yes.
could refuse one outright, you know.
Mhm.
Also possible. I need to stop trying to please everyone. You are right.
Now, Tornescu, if we refuse this offer, the only relation we will have with her in the future is probably that favor she claims to owe you.
True. Which, well, I guess a favor is a favor, but I would like more material support as always.
Yes,
The trade deal would be part of that, but, well, it's
otherwise
further
it
in the future.
does not seem particularly great on that end.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely siding, if we were to side with one, the elves would be a better choice for defenses and cooperation, because it would also help with the Dwarven sect. Other than that, that is all the politics I got to today.
Well, you've been very efficient.
It's been a
So,
long day.
I can tell. Well, I did manage to get our signet ring, and Hugh, you'll be happy to know you have one of your own coming your way soon. I'll be picking them both up at about the same time.
How much did it cost?
Enough. I wouldn't worry too much about it.
But I
Oh,
said I was
right, you
going to
did
pay
give me...
for it.
That's right, you did give me 25. I need to reimburse myself on my sheet real quick. 69 gold. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Nice. Perfect. No, as I said, I've got us a meeting with someone at the at a place in the Garden District about sponsorship.
And was that tonight, or...
Yep.
All right. Well, I suppose let's meet back in a bit. All get dressed, maybe another bath, and, well, have some fun tonight.
Out of character, I
you.
thought it was tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
That's right.
Wait.
Let him be wrong. Let him be wrong. Let's all
No.
show up at the wrong time.
Hold on. Let me read the paper. It's tomorrow.
I'm
You know
sorry.
what?
Okay.
I'm sorry. I ruined it for everybody now.
That would have been a funny reveal.
I'm
We
actually
show
going
up
to
in the middle of the night. It's like we're here early.
We've been successful. I've never had a drink. I'm gonna have a drink.
Having a drink sounds good.
I
Oh
will
no,
go-
he's an angry drunk.
I'll go to the bar, and in Giant, he will just, sir, I'm having a drink to celebrate, and I've never drank. What do you recommend?
Not drink.
He looks at you, like he starts laughing. That's the moment. He gets up. It heads back, and he comes back with a tankard, and the tankard is full of a clear liquid. It's small. It's more your size, which is so basically has to go like this to give it to you, right? Right. He's like, Here you go. So it's perfect for you, but halfling size. Drink up.
Yeah. I just shoot it back.
Roll Constitution save.
Absolutely.
Hey, very nice.
It burns from the tip of your tongue down to the bottom, but it gives you like a woozy feeling, like this is good. This is really good. It burned you. You're like,
I can breathe fire. It's not coming out. Whoa, I like.
you see a little bit of puffs of smoke come out. Like,
how much?
what's on the house? The next one.
Thank you.
You want another one?
I'm gonna wait to see how that one goes, because I don't know if we're like all the way celebrating.
Okay, then. Go ahead. And he's speaking in giant to you. He switched to giant, right? And he seems to be more fluid in giant. I went with it. It was like, he's more eloquent, if you will, in giant.
Yep.
All right.
Kix goes. Sorry, not Kix. Hugh goes back to the table, just like trying to breathe fire. He's actually a pretty good talker.
Oh yeah, he does seem like a friendly sort.
Well,
But
I
if you're
spoke
going
his
to try-
natural language too.
But if you're going to try to breathe fire, you really need to like do it more from like the center of the chest.
Perhaps
Okay.
breathing fire in the middle of the inn is a bad idea, Master Kix.
Oh, I mean, I don't think it's going to work, but it is fun to watch.
It feels like it though. I feel woozy. Those lights are fun.
Like
Maybe you
feel
shouldn't have the whole pint at once.
Your fingers are like tingling. Like,
Mhm.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna play music.
You have an instrument?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay, wait for Hugh to slide over to a piano and start playing old time rock and roll.
Well, I'm not gonna let you play my instrument.
Gosh, the giant just gets up and like holds up a sending stone. It's like, that new sound you're looking for.
Well, listen to this.
So I want to find a
Just the
bucket.
whole world screeching.
Based off of the strength of what I just had, I am even with that con save, I'm probably passing out relatively soon.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna like spend like 10 minutes drumming on a bucket and then just pass out.
Yeah.
All right.
You see that the other people start joining in and they start doing music with you. You just don't drum in a bucket. Basically, it sounds good because everybody else is, going with you, so they balance it out. But eventually, they keep doing the music, drumming in tables and singing and laughing, whatever, and you're just out. Your head is like the bucket, like.
Well,
Oh dear.
that was a development.
And while as Scar's in here, he's off having his discussions. I'm going to make sure that a messenger will go and deliver the message to Gar that we're meeting here, and then we're going over here in the morning.
Yeah,
Okay.
y'all having a nice little bar time, whereas me, I'm in a bar like. Cause need not precede effect in the midst of an interrupted temporal causality.
You just like have like some tiny mage on your back just banging on your shell uselessly.
Smartest people in town fisting each other. Wait, that's not what I meant.
Phrasing.exe.
Right after the indecent proposal, we get hit with this.
You know what the scary part is? This is what teachers actually do. I know from experience.
Yes, teachers fist each other.
Oh, not the fisting part. That's new.
Someone mentions a paradox and it gets 10 times worse.
Yeah.
Oh, someone mentions a paradox. 20 more wizards show up.
Paradoxically.
Each of them with a different opinion.
Well, see, no. Then they all vanish. That's the paradox.
Ah.
It's the paradox patrol.
I like it.
So,
Gar
yeah.
later today is going to be like, why did all these time travelers keep trying to assassinate me, and why did the time cops keep stopping them? I'm sure I'll find out later.
One of these days, I'm going to figure out what I did or didn't do.
Yeah. It's like comic book. It's like guy's driving, and this guy shows up. It's like, in 10 minutes, someone's gonna try to kill you. Like what? Like, And then someone says, no, you failed. I'm from the future. I'm going to tell you that someone's going to assassinate you. And so they keep popping up. And then what happens is that essentially there's so many people in the car teaming to this guy, and he goes up the cliff and kills everybody.
I mean, it's why Hitler survived all those assassination attempts, because he's just a badass from fighting all the time travelers to kill him.
Oh, terrible.
Are we sure about that?
Look, the fact that Hitler was a bad guy is not an argument here. It's just he was good at fighting time travelers. We got to give the man his due. They took his ball. That's the least he could do.
No, I'm more asking, are you sure that's actually what happened?
Well, the thing is, you can never know because the time never change. And if it change, who would know?
All right, time to lean forward. You see, the thing is we'll never find out because we're in one of the timelines in which...
Hold up. Which is it, Berenstein or Bernstein Bears? Which one?
Well, I'm apparently from the other timeline where it was Berenstein.
Yeah, no, it's Berenstein. I've just been saying it wrong for like 20 years until I realized I can read.
The problem is that we all said it wrong and nobody corrected us.
Exactly.
And then we all found out at once that the author said.
Not knowing how to pronounce a Pokemon and then just guessing for 13 years until you hear its real name.
Well, we're victims of the technological age, right? Those of us who know Berenstein Bears know it from the book era, right? So suddenly the technology age comes along and people can tell us who know the people who wrote the book or the people themselves said it. And they said, oh, our name is Bernstein. It's like, wait, that's not what everybody I've ever met have said. But everyone you've ever met has been local. Or maybe...
Instead, we're in a medieval fantasy world. Everyone has to just go in the middle of the night to the author's grave and resurrect him to go, what did you mean?
I can't speak with dead. Is it Berenstein or Bernstein?
I actually just...
Bro, English teachers are crazy in the 15th century.
The only question I have is, which Pokemon did you not know how to say?
Oh, that was just an example.
I thought it was like from a real life thing.
I mean, if you ever watched
I know
our...
people who have had that happen, but...
If you ever watched me and Griff's Pixelmon series, you will know I do not know how to say any Pokemon names. It's me staring at a Pokemon like, but a what? I don't know. This the fucking thing looks like a napkin, a walking napkin.
Oh, I know the walking napkin one, yeah.
Well, you're describing my entire experience with Dungeons and Dragons for the first 10 or so years because it's in English and I'm speaking Spanish, so nobody knew how to pronounce things in the English because they're fantasy words, so we had to make a guess.
Well, you have the benefit though, because if you GM for an English-speaking audience, you can just say the Spanish names of things, and those of us who know what the creatures are, don't know Spanish, won't know what the creature is unless we start guessing.
We get to be surprised all over again.
For example, I found out recently some people say Duragar as opposed to Dwargar, as I used to say. So
Yeah,
I'll be honest, I have no idea how to do that one.
Honestly, I always thought it was Dwagar. So
The Doogies.
The Doogies, yeah.
It's Dwagar.
Right.
Dark dwarves.
There you go.
Yep.
Hey,
That's the solution to everything. Dark elves, dark dwarves. Fixes everything. Dark gnomes.
See, I don't see hues.
Oh, right, you see only in grayscale, I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anywho, let us continue before this gets derailed. So, you had the discussion. Eventually, Gar arrives, smelling of alcohol and
Old wizard sweat.
Yeah, wizard sweat. And I don't know if he's gonna take a shower or not. Guess he doesn't care.
You get the missive.
Yeah, you get the missive that you're gonna meeting that night because this happens the next day with your contact for to enter the games. And so I mean, is Gar going to inform them of why is it that nobody attempts divinations in order to win the games beforehand?
No, that was an argument for my contemporaries.
Yeah.
Clearly,
will-
if anyone in this party has ever interacted with me before, they know that I don't see you as equals.
Yeah.
That'll change eventually.
Will it?
No, it won't.
You can hope.
You're gonna be
Yeah.
speaking to my dead corpse through some cleric to resurrect me, like, oh, these fuckers, they don't know what they're doing. Get a competent priest.
Who
Anyway.
wrecked you?
So yeah. So you meet, and are you gonna do anything else during this day, or we fast forward to?
Well, I
to
mean,
the
I think I
evening?
still
That-
need
that
to
was-
find a individual patron because I have that one thing, which I don't know if I'm unable to find an individual patron, I'm gonna have to bring that thing to this other meeting, and that might not go well.
But-
Don't give me that. I'm confused.
Yeah, but the thing is that you don't have those materials with you.
That's what we said the whole 30 days previous.
Ah, okay. Damn, that was a trip back and forth. Yeah, okay.
Well, it only took
So,
like
yeah.
2 weeks to get here, so it's
Yeah.
literally 30 days if you think about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's doable. You can discuss it with this patron and see where he, what happens.
You're the GM. If you're saying that it's a good idea to do this, I
say
will let
it's-
this happen. Otherwise, I'm saying I'm looking for that individual patron again.
Okay, let me explain the way the tournament, and he will explain this to you. It's 5 rounds, right? And there's fights. Essentially, every round has more combatants. Okay, so the first round would be 1-on-1. The second round will be two members of the team. The third round will be 3 members, 4, until finally the last battle is the entire team. I know what you're trying to do, but the thing is that you will be disqualified for about half of them. Either you wouldn't have enough people, or you wouldn't have too little or too many.
What's the
Understand what
point
I'm saying?
what's the point of individual patrons then?
Well, you don't get individual patrons.
No, you're the one who proposed individual patron.
No, you get a patron in order to get into the tournament. For a team.
Okay, well, let's just stop the argument here.
Okay, so sorry if I misspoke earlier.
I have
think
a
it's
habit
because
of hearing things wrong and going
Yeah.
full tilt on them, but I swear to God I heard individual, but I'm not
well,
gonna.
yeah, that happened because there was a confusion with Hugh's priest friend, who say basically, yes, go forth and represent us, and if you make it big there, you can claim to be the arrow of Alona, which basically means if you make a name for yourself, we'll back that name, right? That's a good way of doing it. But he didn't offer money or contracts and like that, and therefore he's not an official.
Right, like I said,
patron.
I'm not. If I misheard, I misheard. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, that's okay. It happens. So you go and meet the patron, and again, this tavern is very swanky. It's high class. Also has a lot of the people here are a mixture of, well, if you would take, I don't know, Chippendales and what's the equivalent of Chippendales? I guess it would be very beautiful people, right? Young men and women, humans, elves. For those who are attracted to those things.
Yeah, what is the
Not-
female version of Chippendales? I mean, what is the male version of Chippendales? I get that wrong.
No, I mean in terms of the male version would be that the dancers are male and Chippendales, and
Well, no, the male version of the dancers would be women. What's the Chippendales? The classy version of Chippendales isn't a strip joint. So what is a
Yeah.
burlesque club? What's the high class burlesque club?
I think
Yeah.
it would just be a burlesque club in general, because
yeah,
that's kind of the level up from like the idea of go-go dancing.
Got it.
so yeah, it's a bar, but it's also presents these sort of scantily clad men and women for high clientele, right?